What's up, everybody? Joe with ECRM here at our Center Store Grocery Sessions in Dallas. And with me is Nick Hall from Revive Amazon Partners, who has a bunch of services that he provides to help people succeed on Amazon. But his background is really unique and puts him in a really good, gives him a good perspective on what really works for the brands that come to our sessions and are looking to get into brick and mortar and succeed in e-commerce. So we're gonna dive into his company and what he does. But before that, can you talk a little bit about your background and how it led to where you are now and the new company?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was one of the co-founders of Vita5. We were a gummy vitamin company. We originally started e-commerce, specifically built that up to multiple millions a year, and then we decided to go into Amazon, built that up pretty substantially. And then I remember the first ECRM that we went to was in late 2019. And we ended up going from 0 to 25,000 points of distribution within about 2 years at that point. We were in Target, Walgreens, Kroger, kind of named the store, we were pretty much there. And during that time, our Amazon dropped 15%. I worked with 7 different Amazon agencies. I worked with a bunch of different direct-to-consumer agencies. Just did not have success with a lot of them. And long story short, 2 years ago, almost to the day, we ended up selling the company to a big $2 billion company, which was super fortunate. And then got to enjoy a little bit of time off, and then got myself into what I'm in now, which is helping CPG companies on Amazon.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And actually, he was one of the first video interviews that I did. I was just getting into doing video interviews at that time. I think it was our video interview that launched your whole success.
That's right.
Responsible. So
what else would be the reason?
So, what are some of the learnings or experiences that you had? Because I want to get into some best practices on Amazon for brands that are here or that come to our sessions. But what are some of the pain points that you experienced when in your journey with e-commerce?
Yeah, people go about going on Amazon or D2C the wrong way. Mm-hmm. People think what you have in your retail catalog should go into Amazon and just launch the whole thing, and then we should be able to see some success. Yeah. And it's completely wrong. Okay. Amazon, if you look at it from a base level, is all about conversion rate and then velocity. And there's 1,000 things underneath that. What goes into the conversion rate, from the images to the SEO to all the PPC that you do. But before that, truthfully, what people need to understand is you've got to get the right product onto Amazon. And there's a lot to that. What you're looking for is a number of different things. The first thing you want to look at is there a market? Amazon is not like Facebook. Facebook is discoverable. You can find this crazy new, you've never seen before product. Amazon is a search platform similar to Google. Yep. And so when people go on Amazon, they're looking for collagen gummies or apple cider vinegar gummies or apple cider vinegar capsules, whatever it may be. And you've got to then convert on that over the competition. Then as you go deeper down, you want to see how strong is your competition. Yeah. Are they a 4.8 star? Are they 3.8? Where do they kind of sit? Where does your price point sit compared to theirs? I mean, I literally had a company that was doing $13,000 a month that they now do $225,000 a month. And the biggest thing that we've done with them is change their pack size.
That's it.
A bit more than that, but I tell you, we probably got to $60,000 just from pack size changes.
Wow, okay.
Because if you've got a $60 product versus a $12 product, you'll never win. Go back to the conversion rate and velocity. Yeah. You're not going to convert at the same level with a $60 product as a $12 product. So that's kind of the first thing that we always look at is, and is that product even worth going on Amazon? Because there are some products where truthfully, it's just not worth your time or money.
So give us an example of that. Like what product? So you mentioned not every product should be on Amazon. So which ones should not be? So
I'll give an example, and it's hard because we got to go through the data to figure it out. I'm a big data guy. I got to figure out what is the data sharing within that. So I've got a company I just started with probably 3 weeks ago, and we've gone crazy fast on the launch, done really, really well. She had 7 different products, different types of almond butters, cashew butters, Dubai chocolate butter, all these different ones. We go through and do a big list of it. Honestly, cashew butter is probably a 5 out of 10. I've never given anything a 10 out of 10. I've given some stuff like a 9 out of 10. Yeah. But she had a 9 out of 10 product. Wow. And so she's a lean startup, trying to grow, has all these different products that she wants to launch, but limited budget. Yeah. We go through and analyze every one of her products compared to the others. We find Dubai chocolate butter, the competitors are at $25, she's at 15. The competitors are at 3.3 star on average, she's at a 4.3 star on average. cost per clicks are super reasonable, 40 to 50 cents a click. If you got a 40-cent click and you're getting a 10% conversion rate, it's costing you $4 to get that customer. It's amazing. You can make money first second. I put millions of dollars a month into that.
Yeah.
The other one had $4 or $5 cost per clicks. Well, $4, you're never going to be profitable.
No.
And so this is the thing, most agencies don't understand this because they don't have the CPG background.
Okay.
And it's unfortunate, but a lot of them look at their background. They're working at, a tire shop or whatever it may be, and then they found it was a decent business to get into.
Yeah.
My side is more figure out what works, what's trending in the right direction, and is not overly inflated in your cost per click.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're basically you're really squeezing, getting the biggest bang for your buck.
That's exactly
what you're
it.
spending on Amazon. So, what in terms of the actual content on there, like what would be your recommendation for optimizing it?
Yeah, and that's a good question because we talk about conversion rate and velocity are the two most important things. You've got to have people clicking on your product, right? So if somebody looks up, I was in the gummy vitamin space, so I always say, in collagen gummies specifically, that is the biggest keyword. It's what everyone's looking for. You want to make sure that you are appealing to that customer right away. A big thing you'll find on Amazon, you'll find a lot of these sellers that we call them Amazon brands because they're only good for Amazon. They'd never be good for a retail store, but they have collagen gummies massive right up front.
Yeah.
But it gets people to stop, and then you talk about your other advantages. X grams of protein, X grams of sugar, X grams, how much product you have in there, going through all that stuff. What you're trying to do is you're trying to take all of your competitors and you're trying to beat them in any way. And if your product truly beats them in any way, you need to then advertise and market that. That's where the people forget on that. And so first main image is super important. Say your most important things first with the keywords associated. And then as you go through your images, make sure that you're hitting on those.
Okay.
Amazon's AI is starting to take this more and more and more, where at some point you'll start to see that people will question Amazon and say, hey, I want this type of product with whatever it may be, right?
And they'll get very specific in what they're putting in the search.
That's
too.
right, yeah, like low sugar, whatever. Well, if I say I've got a low sugar product when it doesn't have low sugar, it's still popping up.
Yeah.
Give it another 3 to 6 months, and you'll start to see that this low sugar, they're using Rufus AI, which is Amazon's AI on their search platform. It'll start going through, and it'll know, hey, Nick's has 7 grams of sugar. His isn't actually low sugar, so it's gonna be a lot different where product is the most important thing.
Okay.
And then you go into your SEO and hitting all the keywords and all that. Don't keyword stuff, make it readable, all of that.
So it's looking at the product text as well?
It's going through all of that. It's going through the product text, it's going through your images, it's going through all of the SEO, front end, back end, and then it's going through reviews as well.
Okay.
So like for example, there's a patch company. You can put a patch on your arm and get energy or whatever it may be. A big problem is efficacy in that and stickiness.
Okay.
And so someone will type in like good focus patch that sticks.
Okay.
And if all the reviews on this one product are not good on the sticking, even though they say in their title, super sticky, whatever, it's not gonna matter. So I believe that product is becoming more and more and more the most important thing with it.
Yeah, and it's interesting, the example that you gave about super collagen.
Yep.
Or that main thing. So to have that show up. So you're talking about have that show up on the image, the product image?
That's right.
Okay. And so it's almost getting like the physical shelf.
That's right.
Where, it used to be in the past, it's like, okay, packaging and stuff, that is gonna go on Amazon. It's not the same. It's more like have the product image. Packaging is less of a concern, but that was before it started reading the images and studying the images. So really highlight that key thing that they're looking for the most in your segment, and then address those other things that are important in the successive images and the text.
Right.
Now, obviously, reviews is hard to, you don't control the reviews unless you're using bots or something like that.
Don't work anymore.
Yeah. So they're clamping down on that.
Hard.
Right? Okay,
They
good.
just banned 200,000 sellers for fake reviews.
Wow.
I've got 2 sellers that I work with right now that I've just taken out of suspension. It is the hardest thing to do at Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Do not play with reviews.
Okay, so that's good though. So that's good that it's fixing that problem. So it's just going to make the results a lot more legitimate. It's going to be less hard to kind of tweak the results or skew the results. But what it does mean is they really got to pay attention to their images, to their content, make sure it's right. And a lot of this we talk about with RangeMe too.
Yeah.
So you got to have the same thing. You got to make sure that it's SEO, it's optimized for what what buyers are going to search for. So here it's got to be optimized for the consumers. And they're getting, I know when I search, I get very, very specific.
Yeah.
Because it'll kind of, it gets me more relevant results.
That's right.
So now, advertising is a part of it. Right, you got to spend some money. I've always heard you got to spend some money to succeed on Amazon, but how do you know you're spending it in the right way?
Yeah. Well, I would say it like this: Amazon's a public company, and they love making money. They're really, really good at making money. They're going to make money from the seller. They're going to make money from every single area, right? The buyer, the seller, and now they're making a ton of money on the advertising. And so they want people to spend. It's the same model as Google and all these other ones. Is hopefully you spend money to actually make money.
Yeah.
But a lot of people spend money and don't make money. And they start it the wrong way. So this goes back to the first thing that we talk about, which is your product. And you've got to make sure that it's made for Amazon. A really, I don't know if you can say this good or bad example to be used on Amazon is collagen powder. You do not want to fight in that space right now.
Okay.
Colostrum, incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
Apple cider vinegar, really expensive. What happened is these markets get flush with all these people that come in because someone starts making 100 grand a month, 500 grand a month, $1 million a month. And then what happens is these cost per clicks go from 50, 75 cents, maybe $1 a click, which is reasonable, to then it's $5, $6, $7, $8. I've seen
eating into the margins.
$8.50 a click. And it's just a math equation at that point.
Yeah.
And so what I always tell people is it depends on what your product is. If your product has ridiculously cheap cost per clicks, you're probably just going to win.
Okay.
Now it's really, really hard. There's not a whole lot that has a lot of super cheap cost per clicks. So if they're mediocre, you want to look at it from the most important thing is the relevancy. And when I say relevancy, it's hard to explain this in a quick second, but just because your collagen, I'm using the collagen gummies specifically, just because your collagen does not mean that's what people are looking for. So go search collagen. And if all of it is collagen gummies, and that's exactly what you're selling, then that's what you want to go after.
Yeah.
But the reality is you go search for collagen, you're gonna find Vital Protein, Sports Research, Ancient Nutrition, all these companies that have the typical collagen powder that everyone is used to.
Yeah.
And so you want to get more and more exact. And people go, oh, you want to go super long tail? And it's like, you only want to go long tail if it's fully relevant. The second most important thing is actually keyword sales.
Yeah.
People have been talking in the Amazon world, oh, it's all about search volume. And if you look at gifts for men, that's so broad, no one knows what they're looking for, and conversion rate's super low. You want to go after the exact thing that's going to get you the best bang for your buck, highest conversion rate.
Okay.
And the last thing I like looking at is your cost per click, because at that point it becomes a formula.
Yeah.
It's highly converting. It's doing all these things, whatever, and then you're seeing really, really good success there. You don't want to go after the $5 cost per clicks. Especially in the early days. Later days we can, and if you're trying to rank, we can always work that in.
Gotcha. So let's say you sell fancy razors or something, fancy razors. You would say like gifts for men who love fancy razors or something.
I'd go even, you could do that. What I would do is go really, really specific to it. So like if it's a single blade premium razor, that like you want to go like that deep.
Okay, because
like
if somebody puts that in, it's extremely relevant.
Super relevant.
Okay.
Like razors is not good.
No, because that's too
who's
broad.
winning? Gillette.
Yeah.
The biggest guys out there, the ones that everyone thinks of, like when you say tissues, you think Kleenex. When you think razors, you think Gillette.
Yeah.
That's what the normal person thinks. You need to go, and I would say this is early days, okay? Early days, you go ridiculously specific. You have to hit the bullseye. I don't want you hitting even a little bit outside of it.
Okay.
And then as you start winning there, if you can't win there, you're not going to win here.
Yeah.
So start there, win there, and then as you grow and you see success there, you're already A/B testing stuff. You're not wasting all this money on super broad terms.
And you could do it A/B testing on the platform.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when let's say you're working with a brand, you meet here. They first come on board.
Yep.
What do you do with them?
Well, before they even come on board, actually, I do this a lot different than a lot of people. I've got a wait list right now, and it's continuing to push out.
Gotcha.
And the reason I've got a wait list is because I won't take on everyone.
Yeah.
I would rather take on someone that I believe that we can grow substantially and have a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
I don't care about transactions. I want relationships. Once we decide, hey, this seems like it's a really good fit, we're going through and we've already done a really deep audit before. we're then going to take all that deep audit and make sure that we hit every single thing.
Yeah.
We're going to optimize the images. We're going to go through the SEO and the listings. We're going to go through all of their advertising that they've currently done, and we're going to completely revamp whatever is necessary.
Okay.
We're going to launch the campaigns and the targets and the single keyword campaigns and the multi keyword campaigns, and really focus on growth for them in the first phase.
And then that, based on that, that determines how you're going to proceed.
That's right.
With the rest of it. Like you said, you could start with very specific, then open it broader.
That's exactly
if they
right.
prove themselves in that realm.
And everyone has a different strategy, right? You raise $20 million, we're going to go a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
If you've got, your last $1,000, we're going to go a completely different route, and we're going to try to up your sales. That's cheap costs.
Okay, so let's say recommendation for a very new brand. They launched last year. What would be our recommendation? Now, and then also, I have two questions. One, a very new brand, maybe it's someone who's not ready to work with you yet. What would you recommend they do on Amazon? And then the second question is, how do you work Amazon with the brick and mortar? Like people who are here, they're pitching brick and mortar retailers. They usually have an Amazon presence because if they're newer, they kind of use that to prove their track record. So how do you work those together? So first, new brands, right? Very small, scrappy. What do they do?
Go through images. There's a couple companies, Kindling Protein Snacks, Mary Ruth's. Just copy their images. This is the cheapest, easiest way. They've already figured it out. Look at image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4. All of their images, 7 images that they should have in a video. You want to make sure that every single image is selling. I would say what I would like
to copy their image styles.
Yeah.
Not their images.
Yeah, copy their image styles.
Yeah.
They're doing hundreds of millions a year and doing really, really well. I promise you they've been very, very strategic this whole time. They've already A/B tested it.
Okay.
Before that, what I would say is you really want to figure out which category you want to win in. That is a really, really complex thing to figure out. So once you get there, then what you're going to do is you're going to look at all your products and you're going to figure out which ones so far have you advertised on that are doing well, that are super cheap cost per click, that are converting well, and really try to hone in on just those specific things. And again, I'm the kind of person where I want to help anyone and everyone. Yeah. I can't help anyone and everyone, but I can guide a lot of people. Yeah. And so if people need help, happy to guide them there. From a retail front, this is a really, really interesting thing, and I'm glad you asked this because retail and Amazon are not the same, and they shouldn't be the same. I mean, sometimes they will, but usually what you'll find on Amazon, we took a brand they were doing $13,000 a month for 18 months straight. 1 month 14, 1 month 12, 13, all teeter-totter the entire time. Could not grow. I told him, hey, you gotta change this. Still didn't change. He brought it to this agency, still didn't fix it. We now are doing over $225,000 a month with that company. Wow. And one of the biggest things, this isn't the only thing, one of the biggest things that we've looked at is pack size. Amazon is a different animal than retail. You go to Target and you look at their protein packs or protein powder, they're $25. You go into the gummy vitamin set, maximum $15. Literally the buyer from Target told us, I will not take any product in if it's over $15. Smarty Pants was the only product they ever brought in. Amazon is almost the exact opposite. You've got to sell a bigger pack in order to be successful, to afford the cost per clicks. So make sure that your package size, once you've got a really, really good product, do that. And then once you get the Amazon data, the best thing for you to do is take this Amazon data and then pull it all in and figure out what are the good and bad things from the reviews. Don't get upset with customers that are writing bad reviews. If your product was smashed on the way in, I know it's not a product issue, but it's a packaging issue. Yeah. If it's too spicy or too sweet or too sugary or don't necessarily take one to heart, but if you continually get it, it's your product improvement plan.
Yeah. Awesome. So it's funny, we say that a lot with when it comes to in-person meeting with buyers. It's like, you know what? All the feedback you get is positive.
Yep.
Right? No matter how critical it is, you should be applying that. So every meeting should come away with one of two things, hopefully both. Yep. But one is follow-ups that could lead to a deal, but two, insights, information that's you could apply to your products, to your packaging, to your business, to the way you operate. And you should always get at least that. So same thing. So I never looked at it that way. But yeah, it's a constant source of feedback from consumers that you could apply. So awesome. So how can everybody find you?
LinkedIn. I try to share as much as I can on there. Honestly, I just open up my playbook and I just tell people, there's so much. I've got internal training of 540 hours to my team, and So I've just decided I'm just going to open that up. So it's Nikhall, Nick Hall. I'm going to start doing some more YouTube stuff. So
Okay.
feel free to follow me there and shoot me a message. If you have a question or want help with anything, just let me know and I'll shoot you a message.
Perfect. Well, that's how we've been in touch constantly since back in 2019
right.
through LinkedIn. And no, any plans to ever launch a new brand again? Or?
After the non-compete goes up, we'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, looking forward to that. So thank you again for joining us, and congratulations on the exit and
Thank
your
you.
new venture.
I
So,
appreciate it.
All right.